Hey guys, this is your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 5, Episode 3 called Fight for Your Wife. Ain't nobody fighting for their wives. Well, I guess Ray J fought for his wife, but only because she wasn't paying attention to him like she used to. Anywho, we're going to start off with Florence, okay? Florence is back. We already knew that because she was in the opening credits anyway, But she came back finally on the third episode. She's letting us know what she got going on. Her and Trina about to release a new single together. I think it's called Bounce That Back or Bounce That, something in regards to that. So I think they played a snippet. I don't remember, but it must have not been that memorable to me. But who knows? If I could like Sukihana's Casamigos song that I play back to back ever since I downloaded it and, saved it to my playlist, then, I could give them a chance whenever I have the time for that. Anyway, so she's at her house with her sister Joyce. We don't know where Gael's at. We don't know if she's going to make an appearance this season. We'll see. But she's with her sister Joyce and her mom and her kids. I guess they're getting ready for dinner. And she's single. We're going to get into that in a few seconds. But she's getting a divorce from Marlon. So as she lets us know this, her mom is letting her know, explaining, obviously, they're Haitian. So her mom is explaining, her husband done cheated on her plenty of times. And not once did she ever think about leaving her husband. She never thought about getting a divorce, so she doesn't support Flo in getting a divorce and saying that she should wait before getting a divorce and all this stuff, and she loves Marlon so much. But, you have the sister Joyce, on the other hand, who's just like, do you, boo? I support you, whatever you decide to do. So, obviously Flo is annoyed with her mom because, of course, she's old school and all that stuff. And I guess you could call it old school, but at the same time, and I'm not even going to say it's a Haitian culture. I feel like it's an island culture thing. I mean, I guess you could call it old school, but at the same time, a lot of people, even to this day, still have that mentality like, okay, I got married for life and I'm not going to divorce. The only way we're not going to be married no more is if one of us dies. And even then, I'm still going to be, married to you. That's fine and dandy. Listen, I just look at it as, mama, if that's what you want to do with your relationship, okay. But if Flo wants to do something else, then let Flo do something else. You already know how I feel. Okay, for those of you, this your first time and all that stuff, listen, you cheat, that's it. Okay, that is a deal breaker for me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe adultery in a marriage is means for ending the marriage in the Bible. So, I mean, that's good enough reason for me not to want to be with you. So, no, listen, you cheated on me plenty of times. Cheated on me with my sister. Got a whole nother baby in Haiti, possibly, maybe. I think it was confirmed. Ain't no need to be with you. I don't care what the mama said. I don't care if she was my mama. I don't care if my mama were to tell me, oh, you need to be with homeboy. No, for what? He cheated on me. He don't respect me. He don't respect the marriage. Why am I going to be with someone who don't even respect me as their wife? That makes no sense. So, okay, mama, you want to stay with homeboy, all that stuff, that's fine. That's you. Everybody's entitled to do whatever they want to do. Everybody has their own life to live. So everybody's not in unison going to do the same thing. So I feel like I already discussed this last season when the mom was saying something similar to that. But, that's just... Haitians always going to judge, okay? Like, I know all island people, but I can only talk about Haitians because I am Haitian, so I've dealt with this myself. Haitian going to judge you about everything. It's like, if you're not perfect, even if you were perfect in their eyes, they still won't judge you about something. So, Flo, don't listen to what your mama got to say. You already know how Marlon is, so get a divorce. I'm sure y'all still smashing here and there. So, girl, anyway. So, after they have dinner, or I guess during dinner, the kids say they want to play with their dad and whatnot. So, that makes Flo feel bad because she feels like she's the bad guy in the situation. No, you're not the bad guy, Flo. Marlon's the bad guy. But unfortunately, since you have, feels like full custody of the kids, so now they're going to look at you as like, oh, why daddy not around? So later on, tell them how their daddy was and teach them and grow them to not be like their daddy. So then we have Joyce talking with Flo one-on-one, and come to find out, Flo is dating, and she's seeing someone, but she's staying on the low with it and not really going to let nobody know who she's seeing, even though we're going to see 2 seconds later who she's seeing. So we then move on to Gunplay and Vonshay. They chilling at the house with the baby, and Vonshay is stressed because she's talking about hospital bills and medical bills all piling up because of their daughter and her health situation that she's got going on. And Richard said she don't need to be stressing out because they not broke. I mean, we see that with your materialistic things, but I mean, what's your bank account looking like? Are we having savings or any of this stuff? Because if you have enough money to splurge on these type of chains, if they're real and stuff, then you should have savings to take care of what you need to take care of. So, he said they're not broke, but I guess they did make a GoFundMe because per Von Shay's explanation, family and friends were asking how they can help. So I guess that's why they made them a GoFundMe. And, obviously people on social media or whatever found out about it. And of course it fell in DJ Envy's hand, and he made a comment about it on the Breakfast Club or whatnot. So Gunplay is hot about that, but he's not really trying to care about what people on social media are saying. He said they're gonna make it through, and that's when it goes to the next scene. But I've noticed for I think it was only 2 scenes for this episode, for the Gunplay and Von Shay scenes, you notice when it pans out, when it fades out and they make a noise to go to the next scene, it's kind of like a dramatic scene. Like, how like Law and Order has like the specific noise when they go from scene to scene and whatnot. It seemed like it was being very dramatic, but in a way because of what we know what done happened a few weeks ago with Gunplay. So I feel like they're kind of incorporating that in this episode. And I'm just like, y'all doing the most. Okay, y'all do the most. Y'all being dramatic AF. But I mean, I caught that. I don't know if anybody else caught it but me, but I'm just kind of like, was that necessary? Just go to the next scene. Anyway, we get to Ray J. He talking about he depressed because he's in Miami. Princess is not there with him because she stood him up for a poker tournament. Well, golly gee, sorry for you, okay? Boo-hoo, Cry Me a River, violin playing for you, Ray J. Because you probably did this plenty of times to Princess. So the fact that she stood you up, it got a little snicker for me. I was like, but am I supposed to feel bad for you, Ray J? Because I really don't. Sorry. Welcome to knowing how it feels to be stood up. I'm pretty sure you stood her up. I'm pretty sure you stood her up plenty of times. So I don't want to hear what you got to say. But I guess Trick, Gunplay, and Safari came to meet up with him on his yacht or whatever the case may be, and they talk. He's explaining his situation with Princess. Safari said he'd give him advice because he's a relationship guru, and he goes through the span of his relationships with like Nicki Minaj, Nicki Baby, I think, and then with Erica Mena and whatnot. And he's a relationship guy and doesn't like to run the streets and stuff. I'm like, Safari, who are you trying to convince here? Ourselves or yourself? Because nobody's believing crap of what you're saying. I don't even think you believe what you're saying right now. So the fact that he's trying to stay out, Safari, please. And I forgot to mention last week when he compared himself to Cold Stone Steve Austin. Safari, please. Like, maybe in the beginning we thought it was funny, you being corny and stuff in front of the TV, but it's been years now. We are tired of you. Okay, we are really tired of your shenanigans and all you have to. We don't care. We really do not care. But after that, we talked about Trick and him eating the booty and whatnot, and girls eating his booty and whatnot. And that don't make you less than a man, per his words. I don't care if it does or if it doesn't. I just don't care to hear about your booty getting ate. I just want to know. Do the girl, is it a girl who doing it multiple times? I feel like a girl would do it once and she'll be like, never again. But if a girl who's doing it multiple times, she desperate. Very desperate. But anywho, then I guess they split up and Trick and Gunplay is talking for a little bit. And then Safari and Ray J talk. What did they talk about? Shenanigans, nothing interesting to talk about. So we then move on to Trina, Bobby, and Joy. They go to a podcast and talk. And, come to find out they're all single. And I guess the person who's running the podcast asks if Joy ever ate Trick's ass. I'm like, here we go again. So we just can never get away from Trick and his butthole and his tongue on other people's buttholes. So Joy said no, she has never, and I don't see her doing that. I think that was post him and Joy's relationship, even though technically they're still legally married. And then after the whole podcast, while Trina's doing pictures with the host and whatnot, Bobby and Joy talking. So I guess Joy does a something Mondays, Magic Mondays, I guess, where they feature new and upcoming artists or whatnot at a club. So she promotes that, and I guess the upcoming event that they got going on, Marlon's gonna be hosting with her. So Bobby's asking like, "What's going on between you and Marlon?" She said, "Ain't nothing going on." But I guess she's smiling. So Bobby knows her and says, she usually does that if she has a crush on a person. So he's just trying to forewarn her, like, listen, don't be trying to get into that mess with him, with he's still married technically. And, she still got her stuff going on. Joy says she's not trying to be in the middle of no mess. So he don't got nothing to worry about. But, I just have to say this. I just feel like Bobby is slowly maturing because from his talk with Sukihana, and now his talk with Joy, and now him realizing Trina just be having attitude out of the blue, out of nowhere for no reason, in regards to the Zoe Brink situation last week. I feel like he's starting to come into his own and not be so all over the place like he was in the first couple seasons. And now he's starting to relax and chillax and really see things for what it is and really try to help those who need help, even though they didn't really ask for his help. But I just feel like he's getting a little mature and it's making him more likable. I always liked Bobby since season 1, even though he was hella messy and all over the place. But now it's like, okay, I see you growing. I see the growth. So I do like that about Bobby. But Joy, girl, please don't mess with Marlon, okay? They're so much better than Marlon. Absolutely not. You're going to do this for the storyline, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't know how much they're going to try to pay you or give you a raise for the storyline, but don't do it. Don't do it, Joy. You the only hope of Serene in this show, okay? Please, you're the only good one left. Don't do it. Don't do it. So we then move on to Flo. She's at the beach with her friend Claudia, and she lets us know it was a family friend, but now it's her girlfriend. So this is the first woman she's ever been with, even though Claudia's been with a few other women before. And I'm just looking at the confessional. I'm like, Flo, what are these contacts? You didn't wear these contacts in the other seasons, right? I'm like, what? I'm not feeling the contacts, Flo. Just be yourself. Just take the contacts out. Take the contacts out. Okay, we don't need that. But anyway, they talking on the beach and whatnot. They do a little kiss and whatnot. Was it believable? No. But okay, they together. Do I believe they're really together? No. But okay, we gonna go with the flow. We gonna go with the storyline. And, I guess she's going to the event, the Magic Mondays. And she knows Marlon gonna be there because he's hosting it with Joy. So Claudia, I guess, wants to go, but she don't want Claudia to go because she's not ready to come out the closet, so to speak, because Marlon gonna be there. And of course, the Haitian community is homophobic and whatnot. And her mom's a Christian. She don't want to deal with all that just yet. So I guess Claudia is gonna sit this one out, but they do end up making out. And I just think, okay, you're not really ready to come out, Flo, but yet you just came out because you're showcasing this on the show. So that's why sometimes when stuff like this happens, I'm just like, you don't want to come out yet, but you're putting this on the show. So this is kind of like you coming out even though you're not coming out yet in the scene. Okay, listen, I don't try to wrap my hand around things too long. Like, if I can't think about what's going on within the first 5 seconds, I just move on because who got time for that? So, all right, you're going to keep Claudia in the closet with your sexuality. All right, whatever. We then move on to Trick, Snoop, and Raymond. They meet up at a boxing gym. They tried to exercise Snoop and Trick, but they was really just trying to do things. You see how the camera was like zoomed in to make it look all dramatic, but they probably really wasn't doing nothing if we just looked at a regular clip of them trying to fight. So Raymond comes in, and of course Snoop is asking him about him and Trina. Raymond said Trina is the one who's the one who ended things because she needed her space. So he respected her to give her space. So Snoop wants him to try and win Trina's heart back. Trick is like, don't do it, bro. Don't even try to go back down that route. She let you go. That's it. So Snoop's still trying to convince Raymond. So Trick is like, okay, I'm not going to be part of this. So he kind of up and left. And then Snoop lets us know in the confessional that he don't want his sister to be left alone and whatnot. So he tries to give Raymond some pointers. So I guess Raymond's going to take those pointers and try to win Trina back. Good luck, Raymond, with that. I'm sure she's the best you've ever had, the best everything you've ever had. So I could understand why you would want her back. But I feel like Trina is the type of person, if she lets you go, she don't want you back. You could be friends, because it seemed like she was very genuinely happy to see him later on in the episode. But if she lets you go, I don't think she wants you back as her man. You know what I'm saying? And then for Snoop, when you talking about you don't want your sister being left alone, why does that have to entail her being back in a relationship for her not to be alone? She could still not be alone and not be in a relationship. Okay, if you're afraid of her being alone, why don't you go visit her, spend time with her? Okay, so I don't understand his logic in regards to that she needs a man in order to not be alone. But okay, Snoop, I feel like you had genuine concern, but very poor execution on your part of how you're gonna help her deal with her not, being alone. And this is one of those things where I'm just like, communication can go a long way, because you're assuming something, but you're not even trying to have that conversation with a person that you're concerned about. That makes no sense. But okay, but I know we're doing this for the TV show, so we're gonna move on. We get to Princess. She's back in Miami. She said the kids are with her mom, and actually talking in her confessional, I'm just trying to understand her dress, because it just seems all over the place to me. But I guess she's into those interesting fashions and whatnot. So okay, whatever. We get to her arriving to this place. I guess Ray J rented out a lounge area, and Ray J letting us know Las Vegas is too dangerous and Miami is where it's at, where she needs to be. So when she walks into like dozens of red roses, and she sits on one of the lounge chairs while he goes on stage to recite a poem or whatever. So she just laughs because she knows Ray J's Ray J. And he says, let's play a poker game. And whoever wins the poker game can decide our fate in regards to where they're going to live, Miami or Las Vegas. Of course, she does this with her eyes closed. So Princess wins. And Ray J still wants her to move to Miami. Even though she won, he still wants her to move to Miami. So they kind of talk and converse about things. Was I really paying attention? Yes, but not enough to write any notes down, because I'm like, it's the same old with them too. They have conversations, they get back together, everything's fine and dandy until something else happens, and we repeat the cycle. So of course we can never have no serious conversation without Princess crying, because she's like, he's finally doing what she wants him to do. She's always wanted him to buy her flowers, so he bought her all these flowers. So it does make her a little emotional. And Ray J does apologize for being a-hole and not seeing what he was doing to her before, but now that she did it to him, he really sees what he did to her. He apologizes, and Princess agrees to come back to Miami. Once again, ain't nothing new. It's same scenario, different season, different city. Moving on, we get to Von Shay. So she's still reading all the social media comments about them and their GoFundMe, and them judging them for like having all this wealth and material things, going out to eat at fancy restaurants, but not enough to pay for their baby's medical bills. And now for me, I'm just like, if you wanted your family and stuff to help you, did you have to make a GoFundMe? Could they not Zelle you? We're in a day and age they could just Zelle you money if they wanted to. If they're not close by. If they're close by, they could bring you actual physical cash or whatever the case may be. So I just don't understand necessarily why it had to be a GoFundMe, but okay. So obviously, since everybody's judging her, she's cracking under the pressure. At first, I'm like, unfortunately, that's what you have to deal with social media. But when she mentioned that there are literally some people who are telling her to end her life, especially as she's going through postpartum depression, I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's not cool. Definitely not cool. You're already dealing with your daughter's health, physical health. You're going through postpartum, and I'm sure dealing with her physical health and your postpartum is already getting you stressed and whatnot, and then now having to deal with social media. Absolutely, I can understand why she's like all over the place. But Gunplay, he's just not trying to even pay attention to all that, which I can too understand. Sometimes it's just best to ignore it all, because if you keep paying attention to it, you're gonna make yourself stir crazy, just like how she is right now. So of course she's stressed and going stir crazy. He tries to calm her down because she does end up crying, and Von Shay is kind of like upset with him pretty much projecting her stress onto Gunplay, because she's like, you're acting like you don't care, you're not doing anything about it. And then, excuse me, he's like, do you know the violence it took to be this calm? You don't need necessarily violence to be calm, Gunplay. I mean, the violence it took to be this calm, or the drugs it took to be this calm. Listen, he Gunplay, Gunplay. You do not need hella violence to be calm. It seems like you want drugs to be calm, which it seems like you take to be calm. So I don't think violence can equal calmness. So I don't understand your sentence here, your statement. Maybe he could go more into explanation, more elaborative of what he meant. But do I really care? Not really, because through the recent allegations that came out, I'm concerned for Vaughn and her daughter's well being. So the violence it took to be this calm didn't seem to work, because we still got violence going on. A lot. But okay, once again made that weird noise and the fade away to the next scene because of probably the recent allegations against Gunplay. We going to move on because ain't nothing else to take with those two what they got going on. We lastly get to the Magic Mondays event hosted by Joey and Marlon. And Trina, Bobby, and Flo, they're there. Flo's sister Joyce is there as well. Snoop comes up asking Flo where her husband's at. Snoop, please. First, you want to meddle into Trina's relationship. Now you trying to act messy in Flo's relationship. I know you watch the show. I know you already know what's going on in the show, and I know you watched the show to know what was going on before this scene even happened. So the fact that you even saying all this, Snoop, you being messy. Okay, please, Snoop. I liked it better when you just seemed like the cool brother who just, they brought you on the show to see that Trina's cool with her family. I don't know. I don't know the purpose of him coming on, but I liked you better in the beginning when you just seemed like you was just trying to bring everybody together, but in the right way, versus doing this and saying, well, your husband not knowing good well in hell they get a divorce. So then we get to Raymond. He's coming in with flowers for Trina. Like I said, she seemed genuinely happy to see him and asked for a hug. So then he wanted to go talk outside. So then that's when Trina's whole demeanor changed. Like, I thought we were just going to be on good terms. Now you want to go talk. So she goes outside to talk with him, and I guess he pleads his case and, says he still loves her, asks if she still loves him because, he wants to get back together. So Trina just lets him know, listen, I did what I did. It ain't changing. I want to be left alone. I want to focus on me. I like the fact that now I can just focus on me, not have to worry about nobody else. I've been worrying about everybody else, and I just want people to leave me alone. And I need you to tell this to Snoop as well, because he's the one who even put Raymond in this position to look like a fool. And then after this, Raymond just goes walking off with his interesting choice of clothing. And, I did feel kind of bad because it's just like, this wasn't even his idea. This was all Snoop's fault. Snoop, you put Raymond in this position to look like a fool, to look like dumb. So, Trina, I hope you tell this to Snoop also, that you want to be left the F alone so he can stop trying to meddle into your business and your relationship. So, after that, after he done walked off, so we see somebody giving an interview to Flo, and as they're giving the interview to Flo, Marlon walks in. He has some flowers. So here goes immediately Flo saying, oh, he came in with some cheap flowers. I told him to not come in. He knows we're getting divorced, to not come in with these $10 fake flowers and whatnot. So she thought it was for her. I thought it was for her too, low key. But I got shocked because it wasn't for her. It was for Joy. So he goes and hands the flowers to Joy, says, he just want to show that he appreciates her, something along the lines of that. And, he didn't say that word for it. I'm just paraphrasing. But he hands it to her. I don't know if he gives her a hug or a kiss on the cheek. So it seemed like something transpired with body connecting, brushing up against each other. That's what it seemed like to me. And then, because of the fact that Flo thought it was for her and it really was for Joy, she's flabbergasted. Like, her jaw drops to the floor. Like, it drops to the floor. And even her sister Joyce is like, what the heck? Like, what? So Flo immediately gets jealous, gets a drink, drops on his head and saying, oh, you a-hole, you trying to embarrass me? So then it goes to commercial for dramatic effect, comes back from commercial for dramatic effect, and Joy just looking like she don't want no parts. Trina's just like, get the F out of here. I don't know if she was talking to Marlon or to Flo, but Flo then, no, it was Trina who said, next time Trick is here, it's going to be some mess or whatever the case may be. And Flo and her sister walks out. Marlon goes after her and saying, why does she care? Why can't he do what he want to do? So then, like I said, Flo ignores him, gets in the car, and her and Joy leave. Now, this is where the episode ends. But for me, I'm just kind of like, don't you got a girl? So why are we caring what Marlon, like, I understand you thought it was for you, but the fact that you reacted the way you reacted seems like you were a little pressed. The fact that it seemed like he's moving on. And I don't want to hear nothing about her saying she's not pressed. Because the way you reacted shows that you're pressed. We might be doing this for the TV show, but from your actions on the TV show, it's giving very much pressed vibes. It's giving very much jealousy vibes. But yeah, what about Claudia? Did we forget about Claudia? Who's probably at home upset at the fact that she can't come to the lounge with you to be your boo thing on your arm because you not ready to let people know that you with her, even though you already let people know that you with her. Sounds like you want your cake and eat it too, Flo. Because I don't know why we worried about Marlon. Out of all people, I know that's your baby daddy and that's legally your husband, but Marlon gonna do Marlon, okay? For goodness sakes, he had sex with her sister. Do you think Marlon really, like, he probably wants to be with you, I'm sure, for, the pros of it and whatnot, but Marlon going Marlon. So Joy is just his potential next victim. I just hope Joy don't give into it, because Joy, please. But Flo, you better than that. The fact that you just reacted the way you reacted, it shows really what you want to do, which is probably get back with Marlon, because you've done it plenty of times before, and you're letting your mama get into your head, even though you know it's probably best for you not to be with homeboy, but for the sake of your kids and your mom not talking so much, you probably gonna get back with them. And listen, I'll be surprised if they do finalize the divorce, but I don't really see that happening, so therefore such and such, I can't give too much energy to them anyway. I'm done at this point. So I'm gonna end it at that, because we don't got no time for them. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you laughed at least once, please subscribe. If you didn't laugh, come back next week. Hopefully I can make you laugh so you can subscribe. Comment down below what you thought about this episode. Be easy breezy, lemon squeezy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.